Hi, welcome to Zenagallery. My name is Zena, and I have an energy reading for today for humanity. So let's see what we have. Happy Friday. Yeah, today's Friday. Yes, today's Friday. Happy weekend. I'm sending so much love and support out to humanity. Okay, so let's see what we have. We have, so I'm sending so much love and support to a lot of all the women, of course, in humanity. Especially what I'm getting is like a 50-50 break and imbalance, but there is also a balance when it comes to um, women may not feel loved by God, or I mean, we have the other 50% that know they are loved by God, but it's creating a major tower imbalance. Okay. So it's kind of like maybe the mothers, the grandmothers, the just women in general. Okay. They feel like the men in their lives are being trial and tribulation to the extreme by their spirit guides, by the ancestors, by their generational bloodlines. The fire's turning up. So just make sure that you're saying a prayer for all the men and women in the world. You're praying for yourself. You're praying for your family. You are praying because it creates an imbalance, okay? A major imbalance. Again, this is a humanity reading, okay? So don't force what doesn't apply, okay? With hopes this helps someone. So yeah, I'm just getting like invincible, invisible were that hellfire, that burdensome energy, that invincible, visible, energetic auric fields. Okay, the world is the field, so where there's just a lot of trial and tribulation, testing at this time, a lot of judgment at this time, a lot of justice at this time, which is creating a very heavy, burdensome imbalance. So just make sure you're taking your time, you're saying your prayers, you're calling your energy back to you, you're surrendering what needs to be surrendered to the Most High God through Jesus Christ, okay? Again, I'm sending so much love and support out to humanity, to all the men and women. I'm getting so a lot of lack of ascension when it comes to men and women that have experienced some really, really tough trials and tribulation, that they've became more in the bestiality mentality, okay, mind, body, spirit, soul, where it's kind of uh, like being defiant or being hard-headed, or just being like um, this could be ancestral, where like the lack of generational curses aren't being tended to, okay, creating that beastly behavior, spiritually, mentality, demonic oppression, depression, okay. And a lot of the ones, men and women that hold the authority, you're feeling more of the work and the burdensome. So just be mindful of that, okay? Make sure you're not judging yourself, you're not judging others, but if you can help, help. If you can teach them, teach them. If you have to set your boundaries, if you have to cut your losses, if you have to move forward and surrender it to God, that's kind of what I'm getting. Only you as an individual know. So overall, what I'm getting, this is a generational, as consistent as we've been battling back and forth, okay, when it comes to spiritual warfare, when it comes to the spiritual journey, when it comes to the human journey, okay, humanly duties and spiritual duties, when it comes to the work, the backstabbing and the stabbing, the sacrificing and the lack of work, okay, spiritually, so mental health and human behavior, and bestiality behavior, okay, and that's what I'm getting. I'm getting it has shifted and it's gonna continue to shift. So just make sure you're doing your best, but you're using your discernment. obviously. We're having a lot of more of the younger generation with the lack of knowledge, okay. Adults, we're going to do the best that we can do, okay. But with the younger generations, it's kind of like they're already being brought into this animalistic behavior. So the lack of knowledge, they're just creating crash course to destruction and chaos. Okay, so if you can catch them early, teach them spiritually and humanly duties. Okay, make sure that is, well, at least they have a chance to make a choice on how they want to live their life. The path to life or the path to destruction is what I'm getting. Okay, so make sure this is not something that's being passive. Okay, this is actually doing the work here, and that's kind of what I'm getting. Now, where we're at here, the next message that I have here is a lot of astronomy, astrology, ritual magic, arts, dark arts, light arts. A lot is being practiced in silence that is creating a major shift for humanity, okay? And, hey, people are entitled to do what they want to do. It is free will, okay? But what I'm getting is that it is very selfish, okay? Selfish is bringing down the world, your future, faster than it needs to be. So I guess my recommendation here would be that, being greedy and selfish for the moment, it's really gonna lead to nowhere, and it's faster than what it needs to be. Like the divine timing and the divine interventions, it's leading to where there isn't going to be divine interventions. It's going to be to divine timing where it's kind of like just crumbling faster than you're able to even enjoy maybe doing these things behind the scenes to create the lifestyle or the things of this world that you think you want or you may want. Okay, again, it's free will. So what I get with this is abuse of power when it comes to manipulation and projecting and doing things behind the scenes, astronomically, and yeah. Okay. Now, when it comes to young men, okay, let's say older men or the groups of the individual man, okay, I'm getting there are a lot of motherly wounds, okay. Despite men and women may have motherly wounds, that still doesn't give us the excuse or the crutch to sacrifice people, and that's kind of what I'm getting, a lot of sacrificial. So that means lack of forgiveness, judging, just being pure evil, possibly because manipulation or very narcissistic either behavior, or not necessarily has to be narcissist, but it could just be the learning or the lack of learning on character, behavior, and integrity and growth overall, okay. And that can be between the dynamic of feminine and masculine relationships. It could be, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It could be really people stabbing each other in the back within families and households due to a lot of fear or the lack of communication, or due to sacrificing the body and not taking care of the spiritual needs for the soul. It could be risky mental health, spiritual health, sexual health behaviors, okay. Again, I am no judge or jury. I'm only the messenger here. I'm getting a lot of cups are being offered to pure darkness, okay. A lot of people are being tricked into this. A lot of people are being tempted into this behavior. And I'm getting like maximum, okay. So that could be things you're watching, hear, see, speak, temptation, all around temptation. Okay, so that means a lack of studying, a lack of purification, cleansing, a lack of obedience, a lack of following the spiritual and humanly duties when it comes to what's temptation, what's distraction, and what's not. Okay, I'm getting a lot of people toasting and raising their glass to this type of thinking, this type of behavior, this type of lack of obedience and character development. Okay, I am seeing where it's creating a narrative where, again, a lot of men and women are just grouping up into same-sex relationships to possibly at least find support or to offer a cup. Okay, to each his own. Again, I am no judge or jury. I'm only the messenger. And it's creating a lot of crashed ships. So a lot of crashed missions, or like no mission really. Okay, it's just no mission there. It's creating the higher realms to come in with justice. And when we get this type of justice, it's not the justice that we're looking for. The justice that is creating a faster spiritual time clock and human time clock of death. So sickness and death and stuff like that. Okay, we all live here. We all share the earth. We all share humanity. Okay, everybody's in their own different path. Okay, or chapter of life. But we don't want it where we're just creating nothing but death. I don't know who wants to live in a world like that. Okay, again, I am not the judge of jury, but that's kind of what I'm getting. So hopefully we're learning from the time shifts that we're experiencing, the season that we're in. Okay, just too much moon energy, too much excuses for the moon energy. Okay, so too much excuses for the dark energy. Okay, creating again sacrifices, unnecessary sacrifices of life. May it be creature, may it be human, may it be child, may it be man or woman. Okay, God is not going to allow that to happen. Okay, once the whole world is on that mission, like, God is not going to allow that to happen. If anything, you're not going to be here. Okay, may you be man, woman, creature, child, whatever, you're not going to be here. So it's kind of like you don't want to exhaust your chances. You want to pay attention to what's really going on and start where you are and get on some type of path. Okay, the path will be restoration, healing. Again, there is no judgment. Okay, you want to do your best to leave that sacrificial energy. May it be just studying, practicing, praying, repentance, cleansing, baptism, renewals, restoration, act of contrition. The sky's the limit. Again, free will, unlimited. Okay, not sacrificing oneself for vanity, sickness, plagues, death, calling in death. Okay, see, hear, speaking death. Okay, there's more to life in this world than that. All right, again, so I'm sending so much love and support. Okay, I'm overall, despite this is the reading, I'm not getting that it's a bad reading. It's bad news, but having a bad life, having bad chapters, having bad seasons doesn't mean that your overall life has to be completely just pure death. Okay, so just make sure you're calling in divine assistance and divine intervention. Okay, you are doing your best to pray, cleanse, speak to the Holy Father, speak to the Holy Mother, speak to your divine guidance at this time. Okay, and so that's that inner work, that self-work. We're at 14. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Again, I'm sending so much love and support out to humanity. I am only the messenger. Let's see. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of just be mindful. Only you as an individual, man or woman, know what path. So I would get those spiritual and human boundaries. I'm getting a lot of stealing, okay, spiritual stealing, a lot of celebrating spiritual stealing, okay, and people not having remorse, repentance, people not, I'm getting a lot of other women laughing at other women. I'm getting a lot of men condoning that behavior, a lot of men celebrating that behavior, and a lot of men teaming up to do this behavior. Okay, this is really shameful behavior. Okay, to not only your ancestors, to the generational bloodlines, to life, to you're not gonna have health or future. It's kind of what I'm getting. Okay, so just make sure you reflecting and reevaluating one's life path, okay, and stuff like that. I'm getting a lot of lack of strength, a lot of women and men, okay, due to the lack of work either on self, let's see. Yeah, a lot of not doing the work, unfortunately, and not, so it's kind of like it's the justice or the judgment is kind of passed up to the higher heavenly realm, or your ancestors to make the decision based on the observation and evaluation of the time that the men and women have put in, and what they're so it's like they reap what you sow type of things. Be mindful of that and how they decide. Again, there's different dimensions and different timelines for a lot on deciding on how that dimension wants to kind of deal with the observation and behavior. Okay, so it's kind of like you have a mission. We all have a mission, and based on that mission, you have a guide. Okay, may it be spiritual, may it be a spirit guide, may it be an ancestor, and then it goes up to the angelic realm, and then it goes up to God. Okay, based on their observation and their guidance, okay, that answer is going to come based on that, what that man or woman basically been using their time out here doing when it comes to their spiritual and humanly duties. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, just make sure you are keeping up to let's see, what's this about? Your prayers, your work. Where we at? 18? Okay. Your prayers, your work, don't get tricked. Be kind to the mind. Don't get tricked. Okay, so a lot of people are getting tricked about what judgment is. Okay? Only God knows. Okay? God knows. God knows judgment. Okay? We're here to pass the message, possibly spiritual guidance, be messengers, teach, learn, student of life, etc. Okay? Love, care, compassion, study, serve, all explore, discover, stuff like that, right? Enjoy the limited time we have here as human beings, spiritual beings, and his creation. Okay, again, we are the creation. You want to do your best to not get on the path that leads to death, imprisonment, destruction, chaos, sickness. Doing the work for the ancient serpent is what I'm getting. Or blaming the ancient serpent, but it's kind of like the mental health kind of steps in there, where the lack of knowledge, or maybe the manipulation, or dark rituals, or things being manipulated behind the scenes, visible, invisible. That's why you want to say your prayer, so you're not being hosted, okay, to do something, and by the time you realize it, you've been imprisoned or sacrificed on the human realm, okay, versus spiritually, it's already been in the works, kind of is what I'm getting. Let's see. When it comes to, so I'm getting like, maybe a couple people here asking about, spiritual renewal or baptism renewal. I kind of was getting that this past week, and that could be because we just had a major shift, and we will continue to have major shifts. Again, everybody's on a different dimension, cycle, life path, journey, and has a mission. Okay, maybe individual, generational, etc. Okay, only you as an individual would know. Okay, when you reach a certain age, or when you're under a certain age, when you're introduced into spiritual awakenings, or when you are experience a spiritual awakening, or when you are going through spiritual warfare. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Or when you're just trying to learn or be a student of life or explore, or maybe you're trying to protect yourself, or you're trying to protect your family, or you're just trying to protect your legacy, or only you as an individual will know what is it that you're looking for, why the limited time here that we have here on this earth. Okay, let's see. So I'm sending so much love and support out to humanity. Again, I am not the judge or jury. I'm only the messenger. Okay, so like for spiritual divine intervention or divine guidance, okay, when I get from the spirit guides or from the most high God or the angelic realm, when it's time to deliver a message, when it comes to humanity shifting, that's what these messages are about. Okay, let's see, is there anything else? I'm sending so much love and support out to humanity. Make sure you're not dancing on collective of fear. Okay, despite we're gonna see a lot, we will continue to see a lot of the shifting. But if you love your life, then continue to take it more seriously. When you wake up in the morning, the breath in your body is what I'm getting. Okay, when you go to sleep at night, the breath in your body. Okay, to see another day, to enjoy these things, may it be the good, bad, or ugly. Only you as an individual know what you're doing. Okay. We got 50-50% conflicts, 50-50% lies. So just make sure you're setting your spiritual and humanly boundaries. Okay. Ancestral wise, I'm getting a lot of people are still ignoring the fact of the ancestral foresight, or the lack of foresight based on their ancestral. So a lot of people are still living in the past. A lot of people aren't breaking these generational curses. Okay. And once people are being that distracted or manipulated or misguided ancestral wise, invincible wise, and then you want to tie that out in with the collective or the humanity or society, then you never want to be in a situation where you're losing foresight of your own identity. Okay, because then you would just be out here living in dancing on lies and conflict. And once you're in that, that's a danger zone, because that is spiritual warfare. So that's the easy finish line for you not to complete your assignments for possibly your bloodline or for yourself. Okay, and that's kind of what I'm getting. So a million and one reasons when it comes to the ancient serpent, when it comes to the ancient serpent's seasons and duty. Okay, the lack of inspiration and all the sickness or plague or the lack of life. Okay, it could be mind control, it could be memory, it could be your birthright, it could be your tribe, it could be tribal, it could be companions, it could be initiations, it could be your honor, it could be the spirit of destruction, it could be gaslighting, it could be being nurtured into the spirit of destruction, so being tricked out of your spot based on the lack of knowledge of the mysteries or prophecies playing through. So just make sure you're reconciling to love, okay, self-love, love for the creator. Again, we are the creation, for your journey, okay, for your journey overall, living in the spirit of truth, to conquer any fears, okay, and having that option to call in the Holy Spirit and the truth spirit to help one heal, to help one reflect, to help one grow. No matter how far you may be behind on your timeline, or maybe you're just getting started, maybe you know nothing about spirituality, maybe you know nothing about your ancestors, maybe you don't have a vision, okay? There's always room for people to dance on a new beginning, instead of dancing on the death hunt or hunting death, knowingly or unknowingly, okay? Make sure you're dancing on life at this time. Make sure you are focusing on your skills, okay? Learning your skills, okay? In a healing way, and not focusing or calling in illusion. I'm getting a lot of people are calling in illusion, following illusion, based on false promises, based on not listening to their guidance, their ancestral guidance, not having hope, not purifying, so purification. Kind of like following just strength, okay? That's great. Following strength, so like iron sharpens iron, which is great, but there has to be some self development there as well too, okay? Not just following the strength path. You have to nourish the develop spiritual wisdom as well, okay, for any type of challenges. Let's see, based on tradition. So it's kind of like respecting our elders, respecting the invincible and invisible elders that have outdone us so many lifetimes, like so out of this world, okay, ancient, okay. Learning and finding what's great for healing, okay. What's great for your talents, your gifts, exploring, discovering one's self-identity, being true to who you are, and developing who or what you would like to become, to find that joy within. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm getting. 27 minutes. All right, so let's see. This is Psalm 8, verse 1. Oh Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. Psalm 32, verse 8. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. So those are two prayers that is a reminder that God loves us. We are his creations. He created us. He knows us better than we know ourselves. So when we continue to spend time with ourselves, we continue to spend time with him. Okay, getting to know ourselves is getting to know God as well, the creator. Okay, so just make sure you are taking time out for that. We have a lot of, the world is moving fast with a lot of information, okay? May it be good, bad, to ugly, okay? So I'm getting super overload with information. It's only going to continue to get worse. So just make sure you are taking the time to pay attention to one's feelings, okay? We are all co-creators with the diverse universe. Success is about joy that you feel, okay? So that will be the question. First, reach for joy in self, and all else can follow. Once you consciously identify your current state of emotion, it becomes easier for you to understand whether you're choosing thoughts that move you closer to your destination or further from your destination. If you will make the improved feeling or emotion your real destination, then everything that you want will quickly follow. So being true to yourself, okay, true to your identity and what the creator, God, what he's created you to be, so that you'll find your joy, you'll find your identity, you'll find your talents, you'll find your gifts to continue to help serve humanity, serve others, take care of yourself, take care of your families, take care of your neighbors, take care of your communities, take care of your children's children, etc. Okay, every subject is two subjects: wanted and not wanted. Okay, so that's setting those spiritual and humanly boundaries. Every subject is really two subjects. There is that which you desire and the lack of it. Okay, often even when you believe you're thinking about something that you desire, you're actually thinking about the exact opposite of what you desire. So what I get with that is like, be patient with yourself, take time. Okay, communication is key with yourself, with others. Okay, for clarification, for life vitality. Where we at 30? Okay, so I'm gonna get a last message and then I'll close it. So I'm sending so much love. Happy Friday. Again, I am only the messenger. From his abundance, we have all received one gracious blessing after another. John 1 verse 16. The Lord bless you and keep you. Numbers 6 verse 24. And I think I'm going to close it here. Let's see. The future is full of possibility. Okay, so like make sure you're still all growing. Okay, cheers. Let's see what else. Yeah, I think that's it. Continue to light your life up. Yeah, and like don't give up on life. And if it's tough, make some rearrangements and don't think the worst and don't live in fear. And fear, calling in fear creates more chaos. Okay, yes, there is a lot of chaos going on, but you continue to say your prayers. God, he loves us. Again, we are his creation, right? Do you really think that he wants to see his creation turn to pure chaos? So when you're working on yourself, it may not seem like a lot, but it is more than enough. Okay, that means you're taking accountability to add something good into this world. May you see it or not see it, but before you leave this world, you do your best. All right, so make sure you're not putting that burdensome on energy. Make sure you're not putting yourself down. Make sure you're not talking yourself down. I'm getting a lot of people are just really, because of hardships, because of trial and tribulation, because of a lot of the suffering with humanity based on senseless selfishness, greed, actions. Okay, make sure you're not picking those things up too, sabotaging and dimming one's vitality, light, your health. Okay, do the best you can do. If you can't do that right now, take the rest that you need, take the vacation that you need, take the time off to make some adjustments. May it be career, may it be health, may it be relationship, may it be finances, may it just be overall family dynamic. Okay, we're all broken vessels, so we can't serve from broken vessels. You can't even serve yourself from broken vessels, so you damn sure can't serve others from broken vessels. And that's kind of what I'm getting. So make sure you're not we're working with these human bodies, but when the spirit is broken, you need soul and spiritual nourishment. Okay, you don't want to be out here completely dry. Okay, and you don't want to be so dry that it just leads to human death. And that's kind of what I'm getting. All right, so take the time you need to take care of your emotions, humanly and spiritually, and keep moving forward. Okay, that your faith might not rest in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God. 1 Corinthians chapter 2. All right, so I love you guys so much, and I will come back when I have something else. Take care. Bye bye.